What's up, good people? How we doing? Listen, how's it been? Okay. Listen. I'm so excited to be back in front of you again. Like, you all have just been amazing. I've been kind of witnessing you experiencing the summit. I've had conversations with a number of you all, and I've just been vibing off of your energy. So thank you for helping to fill me up so that I can give it right back to you. So if you experience anything good that's come from me, it's because you have given me something to give back to you. So thank you. Have you had a good time? Have you learned a lot? Have you been intentionally engaging your core? Go ahead, just for, good measure, go ahead and engage your core, right? Feel it, I'm feeling it. And also listen, whenever I'm telling you to engage your core, or even when I mention it, it really is a reminder for me to intentionally engage my core. As one of my good friends, Mr. Lemuel Cook, said, he reminded me there's an African proverb that says, I'm going to mess it up just so you know, but something along the lines, whenever you speak, your ears are the closest thing to your mouth, so therefore the message is for you first. So really, I've just been reminding myself to engage my core. So thank you, I appreciate you. So listen, this will be the last time that I will be before you. And I just, again, want to say thank you. And a number of folks have asked, how can I stay in touch with you? So again, my name is Dr. April Warren Grice, and I'm a transformational keynote speaker. So whether it's keynoting, hosting, facilitating, or individual or group coaching, or some consulting, you can holler at your girl right here, okay? You can find me at liberatedgenius.com. But I just wanted to share that because a number of folks, they were like, oh, and I'm like, girl, we friends. We go together. Ain't no breaking up. We're family, okay? I've told you about my mom, and once I do that, that means we really in good, okay? So here's what's about to happen next. We will have two dynamic speakers, and I'm going to read their bio in just a moment, who are going to come before you, who are going to be giving us some soulful, some powerful words that will really bring this whole summit together. They will give you back what you have given to us and help us all engage our core. Following the two speakers, then we will have Risa Rollins, who is a board co-chair. She's going to come before us and just close us out. So let me read these bios, because when I say these are two dynamic healers, baby, get ready. So the first speaker is the one and only. And I like saying that because I just told him that. But the one and only. Why I gotta say it like that? The one and only. Okay, the one and only Dr. Terry Harris. He is one of St. Louis region's most innovative educators working to build equity and well-being among students and the African American community. With a deep passion for education and community empowerment, Dr. Harris has made a significant impact through innovative initiatives and commitment to positive change. Dr. Harris's work is grounded in the guiding question, and how are the children? His goal is to one day be able to answer the traditional Messiah greeting with the resounding, the children are well. Dr. Harris's work stands as a testament to his belief in the transformative power of education and community involvement. With an impressive track record and an unyielding commitment to creating a brighter future, he continues to inspire individuals and organizations alike. But most importantly, he is the co-founder of the Collective St. Louis, the Collective STL, a Black owner yoga and wellness studio. That is most important. The second speaker, I have the privilege of being in community with her on a regular basis. Brittíni Gray-Chiquillo is a Black womanist spiritual strategist, healer, and cultural architect building liberated futures through healing, land, and lineage. She is the founder of Mama Scraps Incorporated, a sacred project rooted in rest. I said rest, rooted in rest, political education, land-based healing, and ancestral reclamation. As a deputy director of InPower Institute and co-steward of the Black Healers Collective, she leads regional efforts to normalize community healing and build Black-led ecosystems of care. Her work is a call to resist and to remember how to be whole, free, and well. Good folks, can we give a great big round of applause for my friends and colleagues as they come before us?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Good. All right, James Baldwin said, if I love you, I have to make you conscious of the things that you do not see. If I love you, I have to make you conscious of the things you do not see. The good sister is going to talk about rest, or she talks a lot about rest. And I used to say that individuals have a hard time resting or don't know how to rest. So we, at the collective, we did this whole thing around, how to rest. 5, 6 years later, I'm convinced that it's not that individuals don't know how to rest. Individuals are afraid to rest. Because to rest is to sit with yourself, to make yourself conscious of the things you do not see. So today, for my 15 minutes, I want to invite you to rest. Take off your bags, you're safe, put your bag in a chair, sit up straight in your seat, have your feet on the floor, and breathe. What does it mean to rest? On Monday, I was in this very building, in this room, for the Normandy School District fall convocation. And Dr. Triplett, who's the superintendent, gave a speech, and he was talking about leadership and education in the school year, and he gave this analogy around gumbo and making gumbo, and it was brilliant. Like, it was wonderful. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. And I was thinking about my speech and what I was going to do. So I texted him and I said, hey man, can I reimagine your gumbo speech from a spiritual standpoint? And he said, you absolutely can. So we're going to do that. Raise your hand if you ever made gumbo. Gumbo, nice. What's the first step in terms of making gumbo? The roux. The roux is really important. If you mess up the roux, then you mess up the gumbo, right? What is the roux when we think about spiritual gumbo? The roux, which ironically sounds like roux, or you, the roux is sitting with yourself. The roux consists of your prayers, your meditation, you're talking to God, you're talking to the ancestors, you're working on self. The roux is to know thyself. You can't make gumbo if you don't know how to make the roux. You can't be a healer. We can't do this equity work if we don't take the time to work on ourselves. Inhale, bring your hands, I'm a yoga teacher and an educator, so we're gonna talk and practice at the same time, all right? Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, your palms are gonna touch. Nice. On your exhale, you're gonna bring your hands down to your heart center. We're gonna do it one more time. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. You got it, breathe. Take your right hand, place your right hand over your heart, your left hand at your belly, and just breathe. Notice the space between your palms. Imagine being in the kitchen and you're stirring your roux. Roux is very simple to make, and yet many people make mistakes. breathe. As you breathe in and out, what's the one thing that you need to allow yourself or give yourself permission to do or to be? When is the last time you had a conversation with yourself, a deep conversation, a back and forth conversation, a loving conversation, a graceful conversation? Breathe. When is the last time you had a conversation with the ancestors? Keep stirring your roux, and we breathe. Keep breathing. We keep stirring our roux. The most important part of the gumbo is the roux. The most important part of the spiritual gumbo is the you. Keep breathing. Give yourself permission to rest. Acknowledge the fact that maybe it's hard for you to rest, and that's okay too. From the roux, we move to the Holy Trinity. Onions, peppers, celery, and spiritual gumbo is gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion. Keep breathing. What are you grateful for? As you breathe, what is it that you have to let go and forgive? And when the last time you showed compassion to yourself? We keep stirring, keep breathing. From the Holy Trinity, we move to the broth. The broth represents the community. All of us. What does it mean to be in community? What does it feel like to be in community? Finally move to the seasoning, the meat, chicken, seafood, and our spiritual gumbo that represents the gifts that you bring. What gifts are you bringing to this work? How do you show up authentically? How do you share your gifts? breathing. And if you ever made gumbo, you know that it's not really possible to make a small thing of gumbo. And why would you want to do that when it takes so much work? It's a huge pot of gumbo, and we share our gumbo. The spiritual gumbo is, what are we sharing? A lot of individuals say they're holding space. Which is sharing your gumbo. But what are you sharing? And I'm simply inviting you to share this spiritual gumbo from a well-rested standpoint, a hydrated space, and a joyful space. We keep breathing. What's in your pot of your spiritual gumbo? What's in your pot? One more breath. Slowly start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Nice, and we come back into this space. What is legacy without liberation? So I've been thinking about with this conference. What is legacy without liberation? And liberation is our ability to be free from all things, to accept who we are. And we do that in community. Healing starts in community. So that was a small healing bath practice, and we're going to end with some movement before we transition. Can everyone please stand up? Try not to have anything in your seat. The Collective STL, 1400 North Market Street, donation-based yoga studio, all are welcome. So I'm going to teach you what we do at the end of our class. It's Ubuntu, which is I am because you are because I am. And we call this the collective breath. Let's inhale, bring your hands all the way up. Your palms are going to touch. Nice. On your exhale, bring your hands down to your side. One more time. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to your side. This is the big one. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, palms touch. Open mouth, exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And we bow and say, Ubuntu. I am because you are. You got it? So this time we're going to do it with some oomph, because my sister told me that she is not speaking if she's not getting the energy that she needs to come on stage. And so we need to breathe for her. You ready? Here we go. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, your palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to your side. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down. Big inhale, open mouth, exhale. Big inhale, open mouth, exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Really, really loud. Ubuntu. I am because you are. You are because I am. You are because I am. Keep breathing, yo.
That was beautiful. And you already did my collective practice, because I was going to have us return to the body and do all of that. We'll come back to it if it feels right. So I'm going to open with a poem. Fabra requested it, and it works well. We call on the first ancestors, the earth beneath us, the waters that move through us, the winds that carry our names, and the fire that fuels our becoming. We pour to honor the elements that shaped us and the forces that sustain us. We come with grief in our mouths and offerings in our hands for the trees who once stood watch, for the soil that cracked open, for the roots torn too soon from their resting place. We pour to mourn what was uprooted and bless what remains. We call on the giants who fell in May, the northern red oaks who shaded our block parties, the sycamores that lined our boulevards, the sugar maples that turned autumn into gospel, the sweet gums, the tulip poplars, the hackberries and the elms who held generations of wind and didn't break until now. We pour in remembrance of the towering elders who stood for us until the end. We saw you fall, we heard your cries in the cracking, and we mourn you as kin. We pour to say we witnessed your leaving and we carry your story. We pour for the lives you held in your branches, the birds who nested, the children who climbed, the elders who leaned on your shade to rest their bones. We pour for the oxygen you gave us without asking, the quiet you offered in a city that rarely gets to be still. We pour in gratitude for your shelter, your breath, and your unspoken generosity. We name this ecological grief as sacred because we are not just grieving buildings. We are grieving beings. We are grieving breath and memory. We are grieving a canopy that was already thinning, already shrinking, already under siege. We pour to make space for the ache and let sorrow be sacred. And still some of you remain. We call on you, tree elders still standing, the stubborn bur oaks, the sheltering pines, the stoic black walnuts and persimmons who still root deep. We pour to fortify the ones who held fast, to bless their endurance. May you feel our tenderness. May you know we see you. May we be better stewards of your breath and your body. We promise to protect what still lives and grow what was lost. We vow to replant, to protect, to remember your names, not just when you fall, but when you live. We pour, rooted in memory and love. To the soil that received you, may it carry your stories. To the wind that washed it all, may it whisper your name to the young ones. To the sun that fed you, may it guide us towards renewal. We pour to call the earth, the wind, and the light into our collective rebirth. This is not just climate. This is not just nature. This is not just loss. This is kin. This is legacy. We pour to say that you belong here, and so did we. For what remains, for what must come. We pour because the land remembers, and so do we. Ashe. We carry the memory of a better future, not because we've seen it, but because something in us remembers that wholeness feels like peace. Somewhere in our bones, in the marrow of our becoming, there is a rhythm older than empire, a drumbeat that predates chains, a knowing that cannot be colonized. We remember it in fragments, in the way grandmama rocked us with no rush in her hands, in the way children laugh with their whole bodies, in the way we gather food for people who didn't ask. It is a muscle, a prophetic muscle that still twitches even after centuries of constraint. The memory of a better future is not a fantasy, it's evidence. It's proof that the world we long for has already started showing up in the small and the sacred, in protest chants and communion tables, in circles and in the sob, in the refusal to harden. It is what calls us to keep moving even when policy fails and buildings crumble. It whispers, you've seen this before, you've known this before, keep going. The memory of a better future makes us dangerous because it cannot be negotiated with. It's what keeps Black folks organizing even after betrayal, after betrayal, after betrayal. It's what makes queer folks throw glitter in the face of grief. It's what makes mama bury their sons and still birth joy the next day. We don't just imagine liberation, we remember it. That is why our work must be both strategy and ceremony. We are not only building something new, we are returning to what we were never meant to forget. Sometimes, in the soft astonishment of someone who has not yet been numbed by American isolation, we can remember this future. Driving north to Chicago, my husband looked out the window and saw a woman walking along the side of the highway. It was hot, there's no shade, and there was no shoulder wide enough to be safe. Just asphalt and indifference. He said to himself, wow, it's really different here. And I asked, what did he mean? Well, in Colombia, someone would have stopped to bring her a little closer. We don't just leave people out like that. And in that moment, I felt the ache of it. The quiet cruelty that we've normalized here. The way we've paid over our instincts for care. The way the individual is idolized and the communal is criminalized. How stranger became synonymous with danger. I wonder how many of us are stranded right now. Not just on the side of the road, but in the middle of a life where no one is stopping for us. The memory of a better future is not always something we summon from the past. It arises in the voice of someone we love who still expects decency, who still assumes that kindness is natural. And it was in his shock, his longing, his remembrance, that I realized just how far we have drifted, how desperately we need to find our way back to one another. Because what are we fighting for if not that? If not a world where people still stop for each other? If not a world where no one is expected to carry it alone? The revolution doesn't just need policy or protest. It's in how we show up for one another at 3 p.m. on a highway with nothing to gain except closeness. I think part of why that moment has stuck with me, that quiet wow, is because it reminded me just how much I have had to forget to survive here. How much I have hardened, how much I have walked past someone on the road or on the street in a moment of need just because the clock kept ticking and the world kept rushing, or the voice in my head said, it's not safe, or it's not your problem. But I married someone who still remembers, who still believes the village shows up, who greets elders with reverence, who builds things with his hand because he knows that the land remembers intention. Someone who doesn't flinch when it's time to care. There are times that I feel like I married a memory. Not of a perfect past, but of a possible future. A future where masculinity is tenderness, where family is chosen and made, not just inherited. where movement work and marriage vows don't have to feel like two separate languages, because my commitment to them is the same. His presence is a reminder that love can and should be principled, that a union can be an act of resistance, and that freedom work should start at home. But it shouldn't feel like resistance just to be loved well, just not to be left behind, to be seen as somebody worthy to stop for. What if our movements aren't failing because we lack strategy, but because we stop loving each other well? What if the systems we're trying to tear down outlast us, not because they're so strong, but because we have become too used to moving along? We can talk policy, elections, we can pass bills, we can flip seats, we can get the language right on the website. But if we can't stop for each other, if we can't knock on each other's door or weep in a circle or pull over on the side of the road, then what are we building? The memory of a better future lives in the small moments, in the touch, in the glance, in the I got you. It lives in the tension between what this country has made of us and what we still know to be true. The question is, will we remember each other? Will we make each other real again? What I do know is that when that tornado tore through our region on May 17th, when roofs flew and trees split and sirens screamed too late, it wasn't FEMA that pulled up with blankets and batteries. It wasn't the state that asked if we were okay, it was you. It was the folks who showed up not with solutions, but with listening. It was sidewalk counseling as tarps were handed out like offering. It was the auntie who set up her own triage tent and cooked extra food to feed her block, even though she was impacted too. It was love without paperwork. It was aid without performance, and it was unflinching. Y'all didn't wait for the right conditions. You moved in the chaos, the mud, the grief. You didn't ask if you were qualified. You asked, where were the people hurting? You didn't center headlines. You centered healing and presence. And that is what the state will never understand. That is what systems can never replicate. And that's what this summit is about. I believe in us because I've seen what we do when it matters. I know the memory of a better future is not just a dream because it showed up in the middle of a storm, in the absence of institutions, and in the arms of one another. And so I say thank you for not waiting on permission, for remembering us. Because what you have offered these last near 90 days, that's the ecosystem. Not some grant-funded dream, but people moving towards each other without delay. That is infrastructure. And when they ask you what it means to build towards racial equity, point to your own damn hands and say right here, this. Because systems may stall, but people move. Institutions will study equity, but communities live it. And it's that movement, that memory, that will outlast the storm. And I'd be lying if I said that the ecosystem was always soft and sweet and easy. Because sometimes love don't look like a warm embrace. Sometimes it looks like a raised voice in a closed room, a boundary, a rupture, a reckoning. We have to get better at living through conflict without tearing each other apart. We can't organize whole cities, but fall apart in a staff meeting. Oh, y'all don't know what I'm talking about? Them staff meetings be hard. Y'all know it. We cannot chant no justice, no peace, and then ghost someone when it gets uncomfortable. If we are going to be unflinching, we have to be willing to stay in the room, to rupture and repair, to pause and press in, and to sit with discomfort long enough to birth something real. Because conflict, when held with care, is not the breaking of community, it is the making of it. We don't grow by pretending everything is fine. We grow when we say, I was wrong, that hurt, let's come back to each other. So this is my charge. Don't just remember each other in crisis, remember each other in conflict. Don't just stop for each other when the storm hits. Stay when the conversation gets hard, because that's the kind of love that doesn't flinch. Be unflinching in your grief. Be unflinching in your joy. And be unflinching in how you tell the truth and in how you return to love. Let your body become a place where justice can live. Let your hands remember what it feels like to be needed. And let your voice carry the memory of the world we are trying to make, even when it breaks. You are not too tender for this work. You are not too angry for this healing. You are not too weary to be a part of what comes next, because we need your softness and your spine and your sacred refusal to look away. I'm going to have you stand and hold the hand of someone near you.
You guys come around here.
When you're ready, I'm going to have you repeat after me. We remember each other. We remain unflinching. We are not broken. We are building something holy. We will not look away. We will not leave each other behind. We are the memory of a better future. Now breathe deep and let it go. Feel the presence of those you are holding. Feel the presence of those in this room. When it gets hard, remember this. Ashe. Thank you.
I know I said I wasn't coming back. But, was it just me? Or was that like fire? F-I-Y-A-H. Man, a round of applause, like for real. Like if we gonna end it, if we gonna end this summit right, like that's exactly what we needed. We needed someone to bring us back into our bodies and remember ourselves, right? And then we needed the powerful words like what you say, the possibility, man, so it wasn't just me? Just come on now. Look, that was breathtaking.
And life-giving.
Life-giving. Like that was heart to heart. That was heart work.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what this work is. That's what the core work is. Oh, that was so good, y'all. If we gonna do it, that's it right there. What I need you to do, and you know I'm talking to myself, what I need us to do is to take everything that we have gained from this summit, sit with it, as reminded by Dr. Harris, sit with ourselves, let that metabolize in our bodies, head to toe, so that when we attempt to do some of this work, we're not trying to do the work, but we are being the work. Because it's not something to check off, but it's how we walk the walk and talk the talk and be the thing. I know I've mentioned core work a few times. You probably gonna see me on the street, you're gonna be like, core! And I'll be like, all right. But I'm gonna tell you, this is what my meditation teacher, Yogini, has said. Whenever we do something and she's like, okay, think about this for 24 hours. Practice this for 5 seconds. And then at the end, we have a great conversation. And she'll say, now I know I told you that was, for that thing, for that moment. Just kidding, it's for life. Practice your core work, it is for life. I'm Dr. April Warren Jeezy Fo Sheezy, hostess with the Moses. I'm bringing up the one and only Risa Rollins.
Thank you. Thank you. I get the fun part, I get the best part, because I get to just say thank you. And I get to share my gratitude with each and every. I'm so full. I just need a moment, because I'm so full. We know that this season has been rough, y'all. It's been a lot. This is what we needed, right? To not look away. I love the idea that the theme was unflinching. I'm using love very liberally, the reality that the current construct that we're in created conflict and opposition, being real, as we led up to today. Because if it's meaningful, if it's important, if it's worth it, it doesn't come without opposition. So I knew that who needed to be in the room was going to be in the room, and that what we needed was going to be present, because we were bringing all the ingredients for our gumbo to do the hard things together, because it is worth it. So thank you to each of you in the room, and you still here, who chose to be unflinching, to call a thing, to name the hurt, to name the struggle, to name the conflict, and to retain your joy and your imagination, the past, the convergence of the past, a memory, what? I'm still so full of just that reality being brought forth into our consciousness. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of the team who put in work for all of this to happen. Thank you to all of, yes. To all of you who spent time and considered and thought about, what is my offering in this season, in this space, in this moment? Deep gratitude, deep thank you to all of the sponsors who were like, yes, you can say my name. Thank you. Say that again. Thank you. To all of the sponsors who were like, oh, you calling it the Racial Equity Summit? Yeah, I'm there. To those of you, because I saw some folks in here who they came and they brought their team. So for making it a commitment, y'all, that does not go unnoticed. And this work is so worth it. It's so worth it. So that's what I'm supposed to say. I'm here to say thank you. In thinking about all the things that have been happening, just a handful of people know, and trying to metabolize some of this trauma that these experiences have brought to us. I've been talking to my young one, and we've been thinking about, what does that mean, and trying to process through those. And so for me, words have power and influence. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to do something for us. And so maybe 5 people know. So I wrote a children's book, right, called When the World Feels Wobbly. Because I don't know about you, but the world feels a little wobbly right now with all the things that are happening. And that was our way of kind of thinking through and processing through the things that are happening. So I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna ask you first, if y'all have your phones, I don't know if you can get service in this room because sometimes it doesn't let you, but I want you to pull out your phones, pull out the app. There's a survey. Haha, did y'all know? And so if you can get a signal, I would love if you would, in this moment, take some time to give feedback, because what you will see is that what you are the ones who build what we need. We hear from you, we understand what worked, what didn't, what you need. Now, I will give a disclaimer as someone who's done conferences, we always get comments about food and temperature. So if you have something about like the content, that would be really helpful. And we take the other things under advisement, we're working with it. But like, you know, sometimes there are things that are a little bit out of your control. But if y'all would please take a moment to share those thoughts with you. And I just want to share a little bit of, I'm probably not supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to share a little bit, just the last little bit of wobbly, because I feel like this is part of what happens. Like the healing that happens in community is so powerful and so meaningful. And so I'm just going to share a little bit, and I'm going to sit down because I'm the thing standing between you and all the fabulous activities, the black ball, and all the things that y'all have on your agendas for the rest of the day and weekend. Some days, the circle, and this is the circle that we've created, the circle is full of laughter. Other days, we help each other through a serious case of the wobbles. The best part, I've started noticing other kids noticing each other and helping each other through the wobbles. We're all learning how to express ourselves, learning that it's okay to have tough days. And even when the words are hard to find, it's easier when you don't have to find them alone. Some days, the world still feels a little wobbly. I don't know if that will ever go away completely, but I do know this. We are more than what happens to us. We can face anything that comes. We are strong. We are healing. And we are loved. Thank you.
Let's stand up and give a round of applause for Forward Through Ferguson. And yourselves. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. This has been your 2025 Racial Equity Summit. Make it a good one and practice that core work.